Hey, Mark here. So these episodes originally were released on Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, but I love these episodes. I love talking with Jay about movies that either are directed by Rennie Harlan or they feature aquatic sea beasts. I mean, there's some of my favorite conversations. Also, we've brought in some A-plus guests, and we just had a great time talking about these movies on Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. So I figured if you haven't listened to these yet, I would include them as a bonus episode on Movies, Films, and Flicks because I just enjoy the conversations. I think they're worth listening to, and I think you're going to like them. So after you listen to these episodes, if you dig them, go check out Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, or just look out for more. And thanks once again for listening to Movies, Films, and Flakes. I really do appreciate it. There's like 2.7 million podcasts out there, and I'm honored that you spend the time listening to Movies, Films, and Flicks. So enjoy this. If you like it, make sure to go to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, and check out all of our episodes, which break down Deep Blue Sea 1, 2, and 3. They're insane. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Crimetown Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay Want Some Gum Cluett. I should have done that with a horrible southern drawl, but I didn't. Oh well.
Do it again. Come on, let's hear it.
Want some gum? Cluett. There we go. Jay want some gum? Cluett. That's what it sounds like when a British person tries to speak with a southern accent. Something that, I don't know, might have come up in today's episode, which is about Mindhunters. We are continuing our delving through Deep Blue Sea adjacent films. We are doing our second Rennie Harlan film in a row. Last week was Cutthroat Island. This week is Mindhunters. So Cutthroat Island was before Deep Blue Sea. Mindhunters after Deep Blue Sea. Well, hey, what is Mindhunters? Well, it was made in 2002, but released in 2004, 2005, because of just the nightmare that the studios had with this is like got all caught up in the breakup between Disney and Miramax. Miramax, yes. So the story is it's a bunch of FBI profiler recruits led by or being taught by FBI agent Jake Harris, played by Val Kilmer. And he has Jake Harris. He has unusual methods which involve sending all of the recruits to an island where he has staged a faux serial killer. They need to track down and profile this mystery killer. But whilst they're there, things go awry, and not everyone survives the ordeal. So this is a film that takes place on an island full of knickknacks and vintagey things that all look pretty great, and I feel like we should have somebody who appreciates antiques and vintage production design for us. So who's joining us this week, Mark? Let's talk about this.
Oh, it's the wonderful Lindsay Street. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Jay, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I wanted some kind of an introduction to you because you have your own vintage business, which is doing well. And I'm trying to understand. I know that you're also a big fan of serial killer fiction and non-fiction, which probably would have been a better route to have gone down. But I didn't.
I was going to say, I thought like this was like, out of all the things to pick for me, you were like, okay, it's got lurid subject matter. LL Cool J's in it. It's from the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I guess. It's got an Agatha Christie plot. I think those make more sense. I was going to say, I was looking for some Y2K fashions, and I felt really let down. There was not a lot of good stuff happening.
There's no Ringer t-shirts.
Which,
there's no, like...
You know what's weird about that is I kind of thought it made it feel more modern, because I was like, there's not a lot of styling in this that feels very distinct from that time period. The only one is, like, someone wears, like, a huge boat neck sweater, and, like, with the T underneath.
Oh, is that but really, big, like, red check?
No, boat neck's like real wide, like it's almost going off your shoulders. What's his name wears it? The guy who plays Sherlock Holmes later. I don't know names.
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah.
I don't know names, and you're gonna find that out quickly.
We're more about Johnny Lee Miller.
Indeed. Well, there's the guy who I referred to as just Bland guy, who I think the actor is Ian Bailey.
Was there at least
Band of Brothers.
I've seen Band of Brothers, but I've never seen this guy before in my life. And the English guy, Rafe, played by Will Kemp.
A ballet performer.
Those two look identical to me, apart from one had blonde hair. But I needed those two to be gone as soon as possible because I had no idea who they were, what they were doing. So fortunately they didn't. Now, by the way,
Yeah.
this is going to be a full spoiler podcast because there's a lot to talk about, and everyone dies, pretty much. So
I do like of the group, like JD goes down, and then Rafe goes down, and then Bobby goes down. Like they don't follow the normal tropes of horror movies in this one. Like they wipe out like the three white dudes immediately.
I was so shocked when Christian Slater was our first casualty.
Really?
Yeah.
This was 2005, guys. We were ready to mix it up. No, yeah, I did see. So Jay asked me if I had seen this before, and I've seen this in theaters, which is pretty sad. But I didn't remember almost any of it, except I swore there was a different twist ending. As I was watching the film, I was like, how is this going to even happen at this point? My memory was really off. I won't get there yet, but it was like tailor made for like a movie. I'd go, oh yeah, I can see that. Like. It had just like a laundry list of like, there's serial killer involved. I also kept looking up after I watched the movie when other things came out, because it felt like at first I was like, when did Saw come out? But I found out that it came out before, but technically this movie was made before Saw.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's got like a lot of Saw energy happening with like the coloring, the way the deaths kind of are so intricate. I know that. Okay, we'll get into it. I feel like I'm veering off.
Hey, no,
I want a movie
that's what we do.
Watching Johnny Lee Miller set up the dominoes.
I want a movie of just when they're all knocked out by the coffee. There's like a 4-hour window between. I think it's about 4 hours between when they fall down and when they wake up. During that time, Johnny Lee Miller needs to kill the English guy, drain him entirely of blood, which he can set that up to be draining whilst he's out setting up everything else, going off, finding Val Kilmer, killing Val Kilmer, stringing Val Kilmer up like a puppet, setting up all the other deaths that need to happen somehow, and then come back and use the blood that's been drained out of British guy, set British guy up to be slumped over, head going to come off, etc., and then use that blood to write a room full of numbers. The same number over and over again.
That alone, I just imagine, like, how how many times you have to dip back into it? Like, it's not there. It's only there for like 2, possibly 3 numbers. But that alone, okay, I went through that thought experiment as well. But then I remembered, like, how Christian Slater died, and I thought, well, we got to throw all that out the window.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I just want to, look, science is not my strong suit. But you cannot die that way, right? Or am I
in this world? I guess you can.
Well, the liquid
in
nitrogen.
This world, okay.
Yeah. Well,
no one kicks the thing sideways.
No.
They're like, pull him out of the way. Like, no, kick the thing sideways.
Yeah, LL Cool J's holding back Sarah, and he's like, no, don't touch him. And so just kick the canister. Anyone, just kick. Yeah. He's gonna be wounded, like given how much he dies. This is an awesome death. This is a phenomenal world-ending death of.
That is exactly how this movie could be described, as like they die so hard. They're just dying so much. They die so much.
They don't just die. They die.
Yeah, they die. They're off.
So we're gonna. I think we'd have to go through the deaths one by one, just because this is what this film is. So the liquid nitrogen he shatters. It like strips his ankles to the bone and then snaps
Wait a minute.
them.
Wait. Before we do the deaths one by one, I just want to say at the start of it, really quickly, because like to lead in. First of all, I really liked the opening like sequence. Even though I feel like it was probably responsible for every like CSI, NCIS show that came after it. Or I don't know, maybe they came before. I couldn't wrap my mind around it when this movie was coming out. But regardless, that setup was really fun. I was like, okay, I see what kind of world we're living in. I like this. But then by the time, and I also liked the bar scene where you get to introduce everybody. That was cool. Mm-hmm. But then when you get to the island, I just still felt like I didn't know anything about like anyone. And I guess that's in some scripts might work well, but I felt like we needed at least a clue level understanding of like these caricatures. And like you said, half of them just felt like generic dudes that I couldn't remember which one was which.
We're told who they are. We're never really shown.
Yeah.
But we're told who they are at the end of the film after they're all dead. Because they were like, the killer was taking us off by our strengths. Like, they took out Bobby. He was always like,
right.
Mr. Fix-It. Because he got up to turn the water off.
And he fixes the light the night before.
He did have a Rubik's Cube, guys.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
But they were all
And remember the night
around.
before that light, Jay, when they were staying there, he fixed the light.
Okay.
Oh, right.
But
And you know what's crazy too? I love the misdirect with the cat because we see Johnny Lee Miller with cats, and we do see LL Cool J with cats. So it sets up either one of them, because then you see a cat, and in your head you're like, well, those two guys are just my cats. So that's a pretty good, not misdirect, clue, red herring, whatever it is. I'm not good with words. But I like that they do that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's definitely a red herring, because isn't the screenwriting like line or whatever that you're supposed to show the character with the cat to show that they're like the nice person?
Yeah, they save the cat.
You know yeah, save the cat, that's it.
And also, too, I like that Slater pulls the thing out of the cat's mouth, showing that he just walks up to things and pulls stuff out of things. Because then he presses the boombox, and then that blows up in his face later on.
I felt like that was like, they did that a couple of times where I thought they were just trying to show, like, Sarah was scared of the gore or the blood or something, but I'm like, get a glove. I know it's not real, but, like, damn, just, like, okay, like, you know what I mean? He did that a couple times, and I was like, you can tone that down a little bit.
So, with Slater's death, they describe at the end that they're being killed because of their personality, their strengths, weaknesses. They say, they killed JD because he's our leader. He always goes in first and does things first. And I was like, well, this annoyed me because that's not what, like, anyone who got to that radio and pressed the button would have died. It just he's literally leading the team. It's not a personality; it's his job.
I don't know. I think he was putting himself. He was like, I got it. He's one of those kind of people. That didn't bug me.
But I got the same vibe there too.
Okay.
Sorry, Jay.
No, it's fine because I feel like it works for Nicole, Patricia Velasquez. She's get killed by a cigarette. That's her one personality trait, is she smokes.
With the cigarette she's given box laying on the ground.
I thought the whole time it was gonna maybe mean something more, because I was like, okay, they went out of their way to, like, in the simulation in the very beginning, he notes, like, oh, there's a cigarette brand that is not the one that the unsub smokes. So, like, you should have known there could have been another person here. So they, like, used that reference in the very, very beginning. And then they're constantly talking about smoking from then on. And so I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be something. And then, no, it was just her death because she just wants to smoke. I was like, all right.
And boy, does she die.
Yeah. Oh. Again, can that happen? That cannot happen, right?
Not. I don't think after 1/4 of an inhale.
No. What is this acid? I need
That's
to know.
some legit acid right there, isn't it?
That goes through. That goes into her lungs and melts her from the inside out.
It's not just acid. It's acid.
It's acid.
It's not acid. It's acid. Yeah, I love it. I love this theory of yours. They just die. Everyone dies hard.
Hard. Should have been called die.
If it was that powerful, she falls into the swimming pool, which they're all in later. If the acid was that powerful, then as soon as anyone else gets in that pool, they're just going to melt.
Excellent point.
Whoa. Well, yeah, I have nothing. Maybe chlorine is the...
And I suppose her body is still intact later because it's where they get the gun. So she hasn't just dissolved completely.
Just imagine that. It's like Breaking Bad. That pool is just loaded with bones and blood and guts. And they're just having an underwater gunfight surrounded by the liquefied, bloody remains of their coworker. That's the greatest movie ever made.
Well, they did apparently tone down some of the gore.
Yeah, they had to.
Rennie Harlin was trying to get a PG-13 release that he did not achieve.
He was good. See, I'm telling you, it's Saw before Saw. It has a very Saw feeling to it.
It's pre-Saw.
But, okay, if we're going to go back chronologically to the first death, the first really hard death, I also feel like if Johnny JLM was, like, putting stuff together, I thought that indicated he had done that before they arrived. Am I incorrect in that assumption?
I mean, he could have done. Yeah, this is. I think they say that Val Kilmer uses this island once a year. So.
But that also kind of bugged me because I was like, damn, there's like no, the earth didn't shake at any, like there was no cat that wandered by that knocked a domino over.
Oh my, yeah, a fly lands on it.
Or maybe he
Yeah.
set up the dominoes, but just like removed every 10th one, and then
Damn,
somehow
that's
between
pretty
arriving and he went back out and put it in again.
He just creeps away and pops in an extra domino?
Yeah.
Oh. You know they put hinges on all those dominoes to get them back up really easily? I learned that from the commentary.
Yeah,
That's smart, yeah. And they were like giant dominoes when they for the close-up shots. They were like 10 times the size of normal ones. Weren't they?
Yeah, they built some big old dominoes.
Like the size of books.
But that scene, right? It's just, this movie is just so silly.
Yeah.
This is the silliest movie. And
It's
so
so
for me,
dumb, but I loved it so much.
exactly, right? It's, what I love about Rennie Harlan? And I think, Lindsay, you already nailed it. He kills people so hard.
They stay dead, mostly.
Yeah. For the record, I am fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
like you're saying, we don't get to see a lot of. I wish they made more movies with this element of like I'm watching a movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's totally okay with me that this is like in like Bizarro Land. Like it, you know what I mean? Meaning like I know this is over the top, but that's kind of why I'm watching it.
But I feel like this is almost a forgotten film because I used to do lists on my site where I would look up like lists of cool deaths in some ways. I've never seen Mindhunters come up, and it has some like genuinely unique kills, like the Christian Slater death, the melting from the inside with the acid. There's.
I agree because I have like this is like my go-to. I need to put a movie on that it's okay if I do fall asleep to it, but I kind of want to watch something interesting. This is like that movie for me. And when you mentioned it, it was like a recovered memory where I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. But this is like, I would have put this on and then ended up watching the whole thing because I was so entranced by, well, what's it going to be? Who is it? Because I wouldn't have remembered.
It's kind of like a Final Destination where it's just these really elaborate death sequences.
Right.
Just watching people get killed. But with more of a mystery element to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like you make such a good point though, Lindsay. Like this is just a fun movie. This is Rennie Harlan. I feel like they knew what they were doing on this. They just said, like Wayne Kramer wrote it. You had Akiva Goldsman behind the scenes. I think this is the movie they set out to make. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a fun mystery. I don't know, Agatha Christie movie that's just it gets so weird at times. Like that's why I love it. It's just they play it kind of seriously, then Christian Slater melts and explodes like a T-1000, or like gets frozen then explodes. It's beautiful. Hey, do you want to hear a real random story that I just remembered?
I want to know how it connects to Christian Slater freezing and exploding. So yes, please.
Okay, so I was working on a show called Surgeon General. They were shooting a pilot for it, and in the show was Mike Coulter, Jason Isaac, Sean Astin, and Catherine Morris, who plays Sarah Moore in this movie. And when she was shooting the pilot, I believe she was about 8 months pregnant, and they would put her in hair and makeup, and she stood up and someone moved the chair that she was sitting in. And I saw it happen, and she was about to sit down, Catherine Morris, 8 months pregnant, and she was just going to fall back and just land on the ground. But I saw it happening, and I caught her before she hit the ground. And then I became like the golden boy of that production.
Nice.
So like I have a Catherine Moore. I was watching it and it brought back memories of the time I saved her from taking a plummet to the ground.
You physically touched somebody in this film. That's incredible.
And then like the makeup artist was like, "Thank you so much, man," because that could have been bad. But that just brought back memories of that story. And also Sean Astin lectured me about how to take photos, and then he told me about the woods, like where I live. It's like, thanks, man. But yeah, that's the story about Catherine Morris. Just thought y'all would like that.
Is she the lead in this movie?
Yeah, she's the underwater gunfighter.
Okay, real talk. Does she have a wig on this whole movie, or am I nuts?
I didn't pick up on that.
Because she's in Cold Case. It
is a wild. If that is her hair, it's a wild haircut. It like comes away from her head.
It's kind of Meg Ryan-y a little bit.
But
a little. Yeah.
It's sketchy, guys, is what I'm saying.
Well, look at her Cold Case hair. No, she's got. I think it's real.
Okay, she has like very thick hair then, and I felt like that haircut was. I don't know. Maybe should have stayed in 2005. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
2002.
She's a lovely, beautiful woman, but I was like watching it the whole time because I was like, is that real? It looked like it was placed upon her head.
I was more obsessed with Val Kilmer's hair. In this.
Well, aren't we always?
Yeah,
but
just,
Cake Harris is a good character.
he's not in the film enough. I was disappointed when I saw like Val Kilmer's in this film. I thought, great, Val Kilmer's going to be in the film, and he's like, on screen for less than 5 minutes. But on IMDb is top billed.
And
well,
eating cake.
that makes
I know
sense.
it's Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I was a little bummed he wasn't in it more. I just didn't understand why. You know, I was like, where you at?
Yeah.
I
wasn't getting much
I
work at
thought
the
it was
time.
indicative that maybe it was like the misdirect of who he was, but I thought that was indicative that he was going to have something more up his sleeve at the end than what happened.
Yeah, because he had another pretty gnarly death. It's off screen, but he's been turned into a puppet, just dancing around. It's awful. I watched this film with my wife. I didn't fully know how gruesome some bits would be before going in. My wife is not a fan of any kind of horror film. It should have clicked that I recorded this off of a channel called Horror Channel, but I didn't even think about it. So I was in the doghouse a little bit after watching this because she's not a fan. And I think it was mainly the Val Kilmer turned into a puppet, jangling around his corpse scene.
Yeah, he gets lit up in
Yeah.
this. It's not good,
And-
but I love it.
Lucas did that on his own. How? I want to see that. I believe he could. Just want to see how.
Oh, okay, wait. Oh God, darn it. Okay, now I have so many questions.
I mean,
So, wait a
Michael
minute.
Myers strings bodies up in trees, and like Curse of Michael Myers, he hangs up a shock jock in a tree with Christmas lights, and no one notices.
But he's
So I
a
feel like in
paranormal entity.
I feel like in serial killer worlds that are not of our own, killers can do this. I think these movies take place in like the horror channel land, where this is possible with just one person.
And
That's my
he
theory.
does talk about like setting up a mousetrap and pulleys and levers and things. So maybe he has the ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
But guys, now I'm really confused. So, what? Please don't. What did JLM base his serial killer identity off of? What Val Kilmer had set up as the crime scene here?
Is
that-
Yes.
Are we pulling
yes.
that together now? Okay,
But,
so
but
he's
only
like,
for only Val Kilmer's death. Because I feel like when Christian Slater died, that's the puppeteer's first death scene. Oh, hang on. So I
I
feel
would
like
say he does it all.
I
because-
don't think so. I think
he doesn't do the mannequin because that's technically the crime. Because even Val Kilmer says you're going to this island. The killer's like I'm pretty sure he mentions that it's like a puppeteer is his name or some
exactly.
shit.
So that means
And
that JLM must have set up the trap that killed Christian Slater
Correct.
after Val Kilmer had set up the mannequin.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
otherwise those dominoes would have fallen. No
Right.
question.
Oh.
Well, I suppose it's a mannequin. It could have been there for a month. Who knows?
True. But if they're supposed to like process that scene,
And there's
now I
like
gotta
fresh blood.
now I gotta go back and watch that.
Oh, what the hell?
That's a pretty elaborate fake puppeteer kill. If I was an FBI profiler, I would just be like the stabber, and I would lay a mannequin on the ground. Like I wouldn't spend that much time
Yeah.
hanging it
Well,
in there.
Like we were talking about, we saw the opening sequence. Guy had a whole, feasibly a whole neighborhood. Because
Yeah.
remember, they just drive up to that motel.
Who's
so-
the prop department, right? Like who are the
Yeah.
prop department in the FBI? Like is there
I love it. Ah,
It's like
I do
Argo.
think-
There's a whole film
now
production
that-
crew.
now that we're like working it out, how could any profiler profile JLM? Maybe he is one of the greatest serial. Like that's how would you even profile someone who invents their own like MO based off of just what happenstance FBI program he got into, right?
Yeah.
Like because
Yeah.
he's not a puppeteer guy, and we don't know if he's killed before other than
His
his
parents.
family. Yeah, so. Okay, yeah, lots of questions.
He's just
Where's
killing
that?
because he wants difficult people to kill, and he thinks the most difficult people to kill are FBI profilers.
Which, like, fair enough. I didn't think that was, like, I can run with that.
So he's a predator? Like a Yautja?
Pretty
alien?
much, yeah.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I'm still, like, thinking that through, so, yeah. I don't know. It's a rough one.
Did he bring the poison cigarettes with him?
I mean, he couldn't have found them there.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like, how do you carry those things?
And there were a lot, because there was a cigarette carton fell out of every cigarette machine on the island at the same time.
All right, let's do the deaths chronologically, because I think I want to talk about it all.
Okay,
so what happens after Kristen Slater?
The next one is the British guy, Rafe. When they all drink the coffee. When LL Cool J face plants after drinking the coffee, I audibly screamed no at my TV because I thought he was dead. I was like, we've just lost Kristen Slater. I cannot lose Lady Death Cool James.
Yeah,
seconds later.
I would have been pissed if I didn't get some of those one-liners in there. But he has the best one at the end, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, this one is like where it starts to get like, this is very Saw level intricate. Like, why does he need to be drained of the blood? Why does the blood need to be used to do the light sequencing? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, wow, lots of moving parts there.
Yeah, does he like to gamble though? Remember they say JLM likes to gamble, so maybe this all could have fallen apart. He just likes to, like, this was a big gamble on his part. Like when he gets called out, when Jensen, which isn't like, I hate that name. But when they...
No, it's Gabe Jensen, the least LL Cool J name you can think of.
And then when he calls him, when he's like, you like to gamble. So this was a big gamble. Do you think it was kind of impulsive?
No, definitely not. But I think that's what I'm saying is, like, the level... I think it could have been, like, equally as creative, but it's so elaborate that, like, I don't know, like, why the blood draining? Like, I get that he had a coffee addiction, which, by the way, that's the loosest.
And because they all drank the coffee. Every single one of them.
My first reaction was like, there's no non-coffee drinkers in the bunch, I guess.
He died with his caffeine addiction that the rest of us didn't have. We just drink coffee.
We just do it at a normal.
We can quit whenever we want.
Yeah, so that one was like, it felt like, I just don't like this guy. I got to get him out of here early. So
his other British guy gets to keep his accent. I'm gonna get rid of him.
So is JLM, is he in real life, is he British?
Yes, Johnny.
Or is he American?
He's from England. He's
okay, because I know he does, but he's also done like Hackers, and then now he does like Elementary or whatever. So I don't know what his actual accent is.
He's
not sure.
From Surrey, Kingston upon Thames.
Good to know.
He's not from Texas?
He's not from Texas, but I did like that somebody else was called Sherlock Holmes. The British guy was called Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
When Johnny Lee Miller is in this film.
At first, I thought it was directed at him, and I was like, "Oh, that would have been really funny."
That's some prescience.
But yeah, his accent. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't understand where he was going with it like half the time, because it doesn't. To me, it honestly doesn't even sound Southern. I didn't know what it was. It sounded like he was trying to do one of, when like people are like, "I'll do a Northwest Quadrant New Orleans accent," and they get really specific, and it's just wild. That's what this sounded like.
It sounded to me reminiscent of Lucas Black in Tokyo Drift, which is not a good accent as far as I.
No, it's his real accent though. He's from Arkansas.
But it's not a good accent. It sounds.
Wait, Lucas Black's own voice isn't good?
Lucas Black sounds like he's putting on a bad accent in this film. Drift.
That's the drift. Yeah. I think I'd be more annoyed with Johnny Lee's accent had I not seen the Mauritanian with Benedict Cumberbatch and his South Carolinian accent. That one.
I haven't seen that one, but I've heard him do other American, in air quotes, accents. Yeah.
It kind of drove me mad a little bit. So I was like,
there's
Johnny
no
Lee's
way.
not even trying.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way he had to have that accent. Do you think?
Like,
there's not a chance that they were like, no, we really need this guy to be from Texas.
It's integral to his character.
It actually reminds me, this is like a really weirdly specific memory, and I don't even know if I'm going to remember the name of, there was this Mark Wahlberg movie called Contraband that came out. Do you guys remember this? It wasn't all that long ago.
The
I
poster
remember it,
where
but
he's
I never
scratching
saw
his
it.
back.
Yeah. It's like it's a throwaway movie. Probably not a lot to remember. But in that movie, it cracked me up because it does take place in New Orleans. Fine, you got some wild accents or some very you can swing for the parks with a lot of those accents. But everyone in that movie does something new. Like, it's not just New Orleans accents. So I don't know what it was, but I felt like everyone that signed on was like, I'll do it, but I'm going to do this. And just had an accent in their bag they wanted to play around with. And that's what this accent reminded me of, where it was like, I don't know if he knew what he was going to do, but he was like, I'm gonna pull this out of my, I'm going to pull this off. I don't know.
Everyone in Contraband is preparing for another role.
Kind of. Either preparing for another role or they're just like, I really need to entertain myself on this set.
Okay, I'm never going to see Contraband based on this review.
Look at the poster, though. It just looks like Mark Wahlberg. He's showing off his money, and it looks like he's scratching his back.
It's not
very
like the
odd.
worst. It's not the worst movie of all time. It's just one of those things where everybody who showed up was doing something that wasn't their actual voice, and I just thought it was funny.
And there's a Ford Raptor in it. That's when Ford introduced their F-150 Raptors.
Oh, yes. I wrote about that in my journal that night.
A couple paragraphs.
Yeah, so ecstatic.
So we have
Entry number 1, Contraband. They introduced the new F-150 Raptor, a V8 machine that is capable of driving 15 in crowded city streets while never rolling through wooded terrain. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, exactly.
So after British guy dies, after Rick dies, and they
Yes.
drain his blood and they paint all the numbers are painted. The numbers lead to the speed of light, which Bobby goes, it's the speed of light. Obviously, I don't know why it was repeated over and over again. I don't know. Again, it feels like Johnny Miller's just trying to throw him off the scent, but also just enough on the scent. He's just trying to be eccentric and unprofilable, perhaps. But that leads them to the next attempted death of Gabe and Vince. Clifton Collins Jr. We haven't even mentioned him so far. Clifton Collins Jr. is in this film. I love Clifton Collins Jr. He's great. And he's playing like a wounded ex-cop who just loves his gun. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But I think he's fantastic in this.
He's great.
He's great in everything. But he's just, I really believe, he felt like a very realistic character, I felt. But yeah, so he's guarding LL Cool J, and then the hallway floods, and the lights break, so the hallway becomes electric. And he has to dangle from the pipes above, whilst LL Cool J, they have to trust each other. So Vince throws Gabe the gun, Gabe shoots himself free of his handcuffs, and because they all suspect him. So and then to escape his room, LL Cool J has to shoot handholds in the wall, which I thought was genius.
I love this part. I got very excited.
So Lindsay, your partner does rock climbing. I don't know if you do as well.
I rock climb, Jay.
Okay.
But thank you.
Oh,
No, yeah, we both do. We haven't in a long time, but.
But did this look realistic? Would this work, do you think?
Yeah, it would have been probably still. For starters, I was kind of like, it seems like he could just punch it because that's what he sort of ends up doing is like opening the hold up. But I guess he needed to get it started there, and it actually he had some pretty good holds, and he was doing some decent technique. But I feel like the footholds would have been impossible unless he was kicking them in, because they were if they're just a little hole, what are you gonna do? Put your toe in there? Not in those shoes.
Yeah, well, it's established later that the shoes melt very easily in this one.
Yeah,
So.
I thought it was pretty accurate, and I did like that part. Or I thought that was pretty cool that they incorporated that. I was like, this movie has everything.
So I've never seen that before in anything.
Even though, can I also ask? I know I'm going to ask this on every death, but I just need someone to validate me that's smarter, that knows science, and I don't know science. That's not how electricity works, right? It's not going to electrify an entire floor, right?
Well, we dealt with this with Deep Blue Sea, where when because there's the Susan death, well, not Susan killing a shark in that with the electric.
Yeah.
where electricity tends to stay along the surface. If like you drop a cable onto a lake,
Yes.
then the surface of the lake is going to be electric. But if you're like a few feet deep into the water, you're probably going to be fine, because the electricity is trying to find the shortest distance from where it touches the water to land, which is usually in a lake, just across the surface. It might be straight down if you're not lucky, but probably across the surface. So in
Okay.
this instance, it's probably straight down, because
But
it's quite shallow water.
Follow up. If it's on like the tension, I mean, it wouldn't be like enough to just kill you on like your toe touches, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably would be all right. No?
I mean, I'm not going to try it, and I would advise all listeners to not try it as well.
I'm just saying, the little kid in Jurassic Park got launched off a fence, and he was all right.
He's a human piece of toast. Yeah.
I'm only using reference from other films.
You're picking the right ones, so that's fine.
You know what? I think if his toe hit the water, he was toast.
Yes.
Really?
I think in the logic of the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I get that.
I just love, Jay, that you said, I've never seen this before.
But I never even thought of shooting handholds in a wall so you can climb along it. That's such a brilliant idea.
It was cool. I liked that. It was a really good like visual action scene, I thought.
I think I've seen someone, I can't remember the film or TV show or whatever, I've seen someone like ramming knives into a wall so they can climb up it. I swear I've seen that somewhere, but shooting holes into it for handholds is inspired. So
it's a Rennie Harlan jam.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Gabe gets to the fuse box, the breakers, whatever, and turns off the electric just before Vince falls into the water. Hooray! But then there's still water pooling everywhere, so we've got to turn the water off. And Johnny Miller says, "Oh, someone better turn the water off." No one thinks twice about that. Bobby steps up and gets harpooned in the neck.
Because he likes to fix stuff.
He's Mr. Fix-It. He likes to fix stuff.
I do think that I kind of had an issue with that one, because I was like, that was a stretch. But I also think, I also think if Johnny Lee Miller was the one that like announced we need to do that, I'm like, okay, so he is orchestrating because he thinks he knows who's gonna go step up and do it. So
yeah,
I'll give him that.
He's puppeteering.
Mm-hmm.
And so when
I guess turning a knob isn't really fixing things.
That's what that's what I'm saying. And also when we mentioned like he fixed that light, I actually like really liked that scene, but I thought it was supposed to show that they were like just all kind of resourceful. I did not realize like, oh, they're just indicating that this guy.
This is character development.
Yeah, I thought it was like, oh, of course these FBI agents would tinker with the bulb.
What was Rafe good at then? Was he throwing that ball at the pictures?
He can make coffee.
No, remember when he was in his room throwing that ball.
That's because he was so hopped up on caffeine he couldn't contain himself.
I thought he was so good that he could hit any picture. Like I was like, why is he showing? But there's no reason for that. No. So I sat there, I put a question mark, ball question mark. Will this come back later?
And in the bar scene, they show he's bad at profiling because they're all like trying to profile the strangers and get their phone numbers or whatever. And he's like, oh, this guy loves blondes or whatever. And then it turns out it's a gay guy. he just gets it completely wrong. Which he's just shown to be a complete failure through and through.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he was like, I gotta get it. This guy's not even worthy. We gotta get him out of here. He likes coffee way more than everybody else. And I will say, if you were in a group like this and somebody was banging a ball against their dorm wall or whatever that was, and you were close by, that'd be annoying as hell.
Make you want to come out.
Yeah,
Rennie Harlan found him. He's a ballet dancer, and he saw him in an all-male rendition of Swan Lake. And then Rennie Harlan met him there, and then auditioned him for this movie, and that's how he got it, because he was a ballet dancer.
He was like, "You look annoying."
People will enjoy watching you die.
I'm gonna drain your blood.
You know Johnny Lee Miller?
He's gonna cut your head off.
Yeah, he doesn't even die hard. Like, yeah, okay, yes, his body is drained of all blood, and he's decapitated.
But he's unconscious during it, so.
Yeah, we don't get to see it. We just see that if we get to watch it, like if he's hanging from electricity while all of his blood is draining, while
Yeah, while he's drinking coffee.
And like, where did that even happen? Because everywhere is so clean. There's no blood anywhere. Anyway.
Johnny Lee Miller, man.
Johnny
JLM.
Yeah.
Serial killer logic.
So Bobby's dead. The two bland guys are gone. Fine, good.
See, that kills me. Band of Brothers, man. Band of Brothers.
I don't remember it. I'm sorry. I need to watch it again. But I really like Band of Brothers.
Goes, Band of Brothers.
I really, but even just looking at his picture, looking at his name, he played Webster, doesn't ring any bells to me. So I don't know. He's not David Schwimmer. So
wait, David Schwimmer was in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, he's in like 2 episodes.
Oh, he was so good.
Salute the rank, not the man. So next after that is there's no deaths for a little while, because then next up is Nicole, because they veer wildly from suspecting that any of them could be the killer to then working as a team, like a lot in it. They keep to and froing from, we can't trust anyone. I have to trust you all to get this job done. I can't trust anyone. It's a little irksome, but I get it. They're trapped on an island trying to make a solution. They all think one of them's a killer, but they don't know who it is, so they've got to trust each other. Fine. It's a film. But yeah, she gets stressed. They do the blood test, don't they? They do the blood test from the thing, where they get some blood from underneath Bobby's fingernails, get some blood from everyone else, and they test it, and Sarah's matches. This didn't go anywhere for me.
No, I didn't like this either. I also was confused how they had access to that system on this base. Thought that was kind of weird, but was like, all right, I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, I don't know. Really quickly to what you just said, Jay, I also thought there was going to be more. I mean, I guess these are just like red herrings. Like you think you're going to watch one movie and it's something else. But, you know, the whole idea was like, you're going to the island for the exercise of teamwork. So in my mind, I'm like, that's going to play out. Like they're going to need to like all work together to be able to like actually figure this out. Even if it wasn't orchestrated by Val Kilmer. But that didn't. They just kept playing, like you said. They just went back and forth on that a bunch of times, and I was like, just make some progress here. Like we don't have to keep going to like, we'll split up. We're together. No, I hate everybody. Everybody, let's work together. Like it was just like all over the place.
But it felt like they're supposed to work as a team, but also they're all competing for one, maybe two ranks of profiler at the end of this. So they're working as a team, but also against each other at the same time.
Clifton Collins knows he's not even getting in, so two of them aren't even getting in.
Yeah,
so then they're just kind of maybe like, ugh.
Yeah, so I got this impression. Yeah, I got the impression that she thought this is another play, like, or maybe this was just me reading into her character. But I almost thought like when what's his name told her that, she was kind of like, oh, I need to like really show that I can actually do this, and like. You know what I mean? Like, to change minds.
I thought that might be the case as well, like, where he's seen the results, and she's in the lead, and he's second. So he's trying to, like, throw her off and make her doubt herself and give up.
Right, like, there was some other level of that manipulation, but I don't know. I guess I was looking into that, too.
Well, I mean, that's the direction that it could have happened. But it just it didn't.
Here's how it could have happened.
It's another Clue ending.
Yeah.
Real quick. This is at the end. But can you help me out with something? When you think Johnny Lee Miller is dead, JLM.
Yes.
JLM RIP.
Catherine Morris pulls a gun on LL Cool J. And then he kind of has a heel turn, Gabe Jensen, a little bit.
Well, I think he still isn't sure whether she's the killer or not, maybe.
But,
and also, he knows that she thinks he's the killer, so wants to incapacitate her.
Yeah.
But he has like a heel turn. Doesn't he sort of, I guess it's a good switch because then JLM comes back.
It's only a heel turn because we've been following Sarah as our lead throughout. If we've been following Gabe as our lead, then
I agree.
He would just be still being the good guy.
So I kind of thought the same thing, and I was like, maybe they're doing that because he just doesn't trust anyone. Like he's like, I gotta get out of this. Like I don't trust any of these people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't believe I came on this mission.
Right.
But I see Johnny Lee Miller's face when he got on the helicopter.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about it. Spanner in
I
the
guess that's a clue.
But you could just read it as, maybe this guy's racist. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I just was like, he was like, damn, now somebody's gonna come and mac on Sarah, because I wouldn't want to be on a plane with LL Cool J competing. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell no.
And I like with Nicole, she's like, you know how I know that you're this? Because we're on an island.
Oh, the confidence of Nicole.
Hell yeah. Nicole knows what's up.
Yeah, she's like, we're on an island together.
Trust me, I'm your type.
Yeah, we're on an island.
All right.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That was kind of like never explained why he didn't like her. You know what I mean? Because like he makes it a point and he's like, no, I just don't like you. And like to say it out loud. And it's like, I thought they were going to like reveal there was something else happening. I kept thinking there was more reveals than there were in a way.
Twist upon twist upon twist.
I guess. I don't know.
Her whole personality though was, and you're sleeping with someone on the team.
And also you smoke.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
You don't treat the lady from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns like this.
No, she's great. And she has a good screen presence too. And I also thought like that was going to be more because, you know, rightfully so, she's more upset and more affected by Slater's death. So it's kind of like, I thought maybe they'd reveal that or talk about that a little bit more. But I think that's like the core of the only beef I have with this movie is like, we really don't get to know anyone. And I don't need like mountains of backstory, but I think a little bit more could have made it a little bit like more cohesive overall.
Yeah, I agree. And well, she's the next death, which we've already discussed. The acid cigarette.
Hard.
Lucas has predicted like that she will storm off and needs to get some air. Well, I suppose because she's still affected by JD's death, etc. So needs to go out and has a cigarette. Dies hard from the inside.
Are we all thinking the same thing right now?
What are we all thinking?
What if she had just got it sooner? Like, she could have got that cigarette at any point.
Well, the cartons didn't fall out until just before she had one. So, like, JLM has a bunch of remotes and triggers and stuff on him when he's found out to be the killer. So I reckon when she left the room, he then, like, pressed the cigarette release button.
Right.
On his little
remote.
remote.
But, like, theoretically, she could have got in there. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
As soon as they get the gun, she could just shoot at one of the machines and have a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kick the glass open.
Yeah, shoot the glass. And...
Wait, that's speed. No, that's shoot the hostage.
That's Die Hard, shoot the glass.
Oh, yeah.
So he says it in German, and then the German guy doesn't understand him, so he shouts it in English instead. It makes perfect sense. Don't even think about it. Die Hard, perfect film. So she has a cigarette. As soon as she takes a quarter of a drag, her fingers start to melt, her lips melt, she's bleeding from the mouth. She drops a bit of cigarette on her shoe, and it melts through her foot. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna die," and dies. And it's
mind-blowing.
Horrific.
Mind-blowing misdirect. Because you're like, oh, damn, she narrowly escaped sucking in all that acid. And then all of a sudden, nope, it's still there somehow, seeping into her being.
One of the worst deaths I've seen in any film. Like,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's a rapidly, something causes a chemical reaction to expand. Because you can't get that much acid.
No.
That's
it's insidious, is what it is.
How is he getting a hold of it? Like, this isn't like a government lab. Like,
exactly.
This is like the plot of Indiana Jones movie.
Yes. Like how Jay said he wants to see the setup, that we need the whole other movie that explains, like, his chemical processing, like how he's doing the blood draining so quickly, like so many things that we need to know.
We need mind planners. We need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who made this acid? Why didn't you just put it in everyone's coffee?
It's some like Captain
Where's
America
the challenge?
Or something. Like it seems very like this can't exist. There's no way.
Did it need a reaction with liquids since it's in the cigarette safely?
Or
great
fire.
Question.
Maybe it needs to be lit, like once heat comes into contact with it.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
But there must be a lot of it because it's in every pack of cigarettes, and presumably every cigarette in that pack needs to have the acid in it.
Also a good question, or also a good observation.
Did he know her
many.
brand? Wait, did he know her brand?
I don't think
that could have saved time.
I feel like it didn't matter because there was nothing else available.
Yeah,
I've
and
never smoked, so I don't know. But
And I do feel like when he flips the switch, they show at least at least 5 machines around the island. So that's at least 5 packs of cigarettes.
yeah.
Did I make this up in my head? When she was walking out, I could have swore she saw a single pack of cigarettes laying there.
She did, yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, because that had just fallen out of the one that she... I suppose when JLM was setting up the traps, he didn't know exactly... He's not that good enough of a profile to know exactly where she would be on this mysterious island.
He just placed them around.
Yeah, every cigarette
breadcrumbs?
machine.
Yeah.
How much would it be better if she just ooh, cigarette, and then ooh, another cigarette, and then just leads her into a pit?
Leads into a
Ooh,
bear
piece
trap.
of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, just into a
Climbs
pit
into an
of
oven.
vipers and pit bulls and razor blades.
This was her weakness. Razor blades and vipers and pit bulls.
It's
And
almost
needles.
more believable that the lighter would have done something.
Yeah.
Oh, the lighter explodes.
I guess
Yeah.
that would be too similar to Vince's death with the gun.
Yeah, which I think
Backfiring.
is that the next death.
That is. So, yes, so Vince... once Nicole dies, they're like, oh, it's one of us still. Oh, then they hear the recording playing of Val Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go... So Vince says that he's not going to come anymore, so LL Cool J handcuffs Vince's chair so he can't get around anymore, which just seems mean.
Yeah.
I didn't fully grasp the logic behind what was going on there, but fine. So Vince stays behind. LL Cool J, Sarah, and Lucas go and find Val Kilmer's strung up puppet corpse and 2 other dead FBI people. We've covered that. It's a pretty cool scene because you hear Val Kilmer's talking to them. He's mocking them all, but then it turns out to be a video of him talking to Lucas. That just is perfectly timed when they get to him. Anyway, wonderful logic to the film that ties up nicely. Meanwhile, Vince is trying to. Oh yeah. So LL Cool J took he left Vince with his gun, but took his bullets. So then Vince goes into the freezer to find either Bobby or Rafe's body.
Rafe, because he doesn't have a head, right?
Okay, because he has bullets in his gun, so he takes those. But then the freezer door shuts, but that doesn't mean anything because he gets out a few minutes later. It just kind of delays him a little bit. Crawls to the elevator, hears somebody coming, shoots, and his gun backfires and explodes his head.
It's probably the best interpretation of your downfall.
Yes.
Or
He loves
your
his gun.
Yeah. They do a great job of making him say that 100 times. So but that also makes sense. He knew he would use that at some point and it would backfire. Literally,
yeah. It blew up in his face.
Now, stupid question. They're all profilers. So then the first one who dies is Slater, and he took the lead. Do you think they would have been do you think the person wanted him to take the lead and would have him there? And then the coffee guy is dead who makes the coffee. Do you think Nicole could be hey, there's cigarettes. And they've already done the coffee bit and the leader bit. I might be in trouble here. Or is it just too late and they're tired and they're afraid?
Well,
And they're not really profiling.
he's setting up everything's preordained with a watch and a time as to when everything's going to happen as well. So it feels like everything is going to plan.
But wait, I think you're asking should she be aware of what's happening here, put it together, and not go towards the vice? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the only thing with her is I believe she's not around for that conversation, and they actually come together while she's away. They go, oh, this is what's happening, and that's why they all go, Michelle, or what's her name? I don't know.
Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they
you're
all
right.
are like, Nicole, because she's not in the room, and then it's cut to her looking for cigarettes.
I haven't seen this movie in a while, and
That's fair.
She was standing by the nitrous, those liquid oxygen. I thought those things were gonna blow up when she was smoking,
Yeah.
because she just goes to a really horrible spot to smoke, and I was like, is she gonna blow up as well as getting acid?
Well, that would make sense because they make a big deal of pointing out the canisters as they arrive at the island. I think, okay, that's Chekhov's gas canisters. They're going to come back at some point.
Well, I think they come with Christian Slater.
But but that's quite early on. I was expecting them to, like, there's a lot of them. I thought it would be some kind of big explosive finale. It's a Rennie Harlan film. They tend to end with an explosion.
Can I also ask, now that we're on that subject, I just remembered. Also, did they say that those canisters were used to create Arctic-like temperatures on the island for the seals to train in? Did I get that right?
Was that in the water?
Or something? I don't know. Like, at one point, they're, like, hanging out, and there's, like, snow appearing around, and I was like, I guess this is debris. I don't know what's happening. I was very confused on that part.
Yeah, that was snow. Rennie Harlan said he bought candles that burnt, and then they would have big fans blowing it, and it was supposed to be snow.
But, like, islands in off the coast of South Carolina do not get snow. Am I correct? Guys, you need to fact check me here.
Was it off of Virginia that they went to?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like wherever Roanoke is. So, yeah.
I could see that snowing.
No!
In Virginia?
I live in Maryland. I don't think you're gonna get that much snow on an island. Do you think?
I mean, it's right off the coast.
Hold on, I gotta get me a glimpse of this.
I have no idea, so I'm just gonna let you two fight it out.
Okay. No, it's in.
Oh, it is off the coast of North Carolina.
It is North Carolina. Yeah.
You are right.
Even more suspect. I mean, I guess you could get like a storm there. I don't know. I guess snow, but it just seemed like casual snow. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a bad weather moving through.
I guess I get snow in Georgia, so I guess North Carolina would get some snow as well.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like it's a rarity.
Okay.
That would happen.
It just struck me. I was like, wait, where? I thought they were on an island. And I was like looking around. But all right. Yeah, what was the bit about? Why did they mention Roanoke?
This is another almost like a red herring that didn't really go anywhere.
Yes. Which I was like, cool bit of trivia because I like that story. But also, why is it here?
Yeah.
You know, I watched this movie and I listened to the commentary and I watched all the behind the scenes videos and I'm still quite fuzzy about many things in this movie. But I've watched it twice for this.
Yeah.
Are y'all like that as well or no?
Well, it's just there's a lot. Like, I think maybe it actually might be, like, weirdly clever because, like, especially when you watch a lot of murder mysteries or these types of whodunits, you know, you kind of know what to look for and what not to look for, what's going to pan out, what's not going to pan out. Mm-hmm. And they give you so many little things like this that you think they're going to be of some level of significance. Like, they almost throw too many, I don't even want to call them red herrings, but there's, like, a weird amount of information that's not directed at the characters.
Yeah.
So they don't really help you, like, suss out what's going to happen. It's more, well, how does that play into the story? And a lot of times it just doesn't.
Yeah, good point.
So I found the script, and they do say that the Navy uses it to simulate Arctic regions. That's what the nitrogens are for. In general, if it's a military, don't touch it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's what's creating the snow.
I think that was my guess, but I was just trying to get some feedback on that because I was like not really sure.
I thought it was just the water. Like they go into the water to recreate dives in very cold water and controlled environments.
Well, that's what I thought when they mentioned it in the beginning, but then when I seen snow, I was like, what's this now?
They do say early on that they have the ability to do blood samples on the computer, analyze fibers and scout samples, but they can't do any research beyond the firewall. So they do establish they can do blood samples. So
they could do blood samples. I thought that meant like fake blood samples, but no. Okay, all right, that's fair enough.
Rennie Harlan has it explained.
For this fake,
he's got it.
For this fake profiling, they have the ability to do real blood samples. That makes perfect. Of course they do.
You know what? I gotta say, I do love the production design, and Rennie Harlan found the production designer. He was a guy that just painted. Would go into like older buildings, old churches, and redo their frescoes and various art inside of like large buildings. So he was a painter. But I looked at what he's been doing lately as a production designer, and let's see, when does it start? So 2013, Thor: The Dark World, 2014, Guardians of the Galaxy, then Age of Ultron, then Doctor Strange, Infinity War, Endgame, Black Widow, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I remember listening to the commentary, and so Rennie Harlan gave him like his first huge job on Driven, and then he hired him on Mindhunters, and now he's Marvel's go-to production designer because Rennie Harlan brought him in.
Hey, good for him.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many production designers are on those movies? Is it
So,
like one, or is it like a 400?
So, sorry if I'm being like, I don't want to like explain a bunch of things to you, but like, I don't want to explain things to you, you know, but like on a Marvel movie, what they have is they have a production designer, but that production designer has about, 3 art directors.
Okay.
And then the art directors are the one who are in the stages, doing everything, like getting everything built. Then they have their like coordinators, and they have their construction crews.
Okay.
So whenever you
but
see,
it's just like a small, but it isn't like it's not like a massive team. It's like there's a hierarchy, and he's kind of like running the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like the production designer reads the script, and then they kind of break down the script. Then they hire like of what they think they should build. They hire people to do the modeling. They hire people to do the layouts. Like you get 3D printouts now, or you can do 3D printouts of sets now, or you get concept art. So they hire those people, and then when the director approves on the concept art, the production designer gets with his art directors and like his like the construction workers, and then they go build them in the various stages where they need them. So
yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you
so
just
Hot
need like
Diggy,
one.
he did get this is like that's a huge role.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Rennie Harlan in this commentary for Mindhunters, like he's going to be doing big things one day.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
This was really early, like 2000s. And now this guy is on $250 million movies.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that he moved on all this.
The production design, the setting is all incredible. I love just that it's an island full of mannequins, and some of them are like spring-loaded to launch forward and be a threat during the firefight in the dark towards the end. That's just a really cool setting to have this kind of climax, this kind of film.
It also, I think actually might speak to like what I was saying about it doesn't like this movie doesn't weirdly feel dated like to look at, if that makes sense. Like so, a lot of it I thought I don't want to say like timeless, but like there's more like attention to detail. The direction is they do a little bit of that very popular at the time, sort of like flash cutty. I don't know what you want to call that, but some of that I thought was like, oh, I remember that being very big at that decade. But the production design, the clothing, like the costuming, a lot of those things, yeah, they kind of feel like other movies, but they feel very right for what this movie is, and not like in a way where they were like trying to put something in that was like trendy or like going to appeal to like a certain demographic, or do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I think it can be really easy to do that with like I feel like after 7 came out, you saw like a lot of things that were like attempting to just do that and like rehash it.
Yeah.
And here I feel like it's, maybe in the same like catalog of like the same kind of viewer would seek this out, but they're doing something that feels exactly right for what the movie is. And it feels really unique. Like you do kind of feel like you're on this weird island that someone has completely drenched and made up to look like something else.
Yeah, I think the most dated aspect of the film is when they're in the bar, Maroon 5 is playing on the.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought that was funny.
A couple random things. This movie only had a $30 million budget, which is quite low. And I think Rennie Harlan is an absolute pro of stretching budgets. So on this film, he had 5 people with Max on the set, and they did the visual effects. So they didn't hire out a visual effects company. He had 5 people on the set at all times with Mac computers, like doing the electricity and the sparks. And they had a score, but they didn't like the score. So he called the guy. He said, give me some stuff in 24 hours. So the guy went, got him some stuff in 24 hours, finished guy. And then he's like, good, that'll work. And then they wrote the score in 2 weeks. And then they did it. So like, I just think Harlan, I love how he just goes out of his way to really stretch these budgets of these movies. And I kind of miss having him around because I don't know, like I like that he went and made this for $30 million, and it looks great. Like I miss these kind of films, like a Limitless, like a $30 million movie that did well. Yeah. I mean, I know they're probably not going to be hitting theaters again, but I miss the days of like a good TNT, like that. Sorry, Jay, like TNT is like a cable channel here that you just play movies on. It's like a good TNT cable movie, and I think that's what this is.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's like a beef, I think, not just, I mean, like, I agree. I think he's probably good at, there's a certain thing to be said about the skill set of, like, somebody artistic that knows when and what to cut, and like you said, when and what to stretch, and like what's going to get you to like the vision you want, which I think is probably really, I mean, I've never directed anything or done anything even remotely in that vein, but it's probably very difficult to know how to do that, especially when you're working within, you know, like some other production element. But I think in general, that's a beef a lot of people have with like the trajectory of the film industry now, is like those mid-budget movies do not get made. I mean, it's very difficult. They either have to be super shoestring or they're huge. And I feel like I don't see any movies that are just like interesting drama pieces or something like this, where it's like, there's a lot going on here. But I think if you even attempted to get that movie made now, they wouldn't come close to that budget.
Yeah, here's 10 mil. Like, we'll put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with 10 mil, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but like, to me, 30 mil seems low for what this movie. Like, I was a little bit shocked by that. Yeah, exactly, because you got to pay a whole cast.
They went to Holland. Well, you know what he does? He got Val Kilmer, and he said no one wanted to work with Val Kilmer because he's difficult, but I hired him, and he was great. And the cinematographer had only done a couple music videos, so they got him for real cheap, and apparently he had a difficult personality. And Rennie Harlan's like, I broke him. He was fine. So I think he found, you know, Slater was a big name, but he didn't have too much heat at the moment. Val Kilmer didn't have too much heat. So he found like actors we love, and he probably got them for a relatively decent budget. And then they went to Holland to shoot this thing. And so he just kind of, that lake or the ocean that they were on, he said it was just a pond and the rest was green screen. Like, I think he figured, I think by now, by the time he made this, he just knows how to get these things done and how to stretch a budget. And that's when I think he works at his best. Like, Driven, that movie had a gigantic budget. And I just don't think it was, it's not nearly as creative as this movie is. I mean, you know, Christian Slater gets frozen, then explodes. So,
and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It just, yeah. So I think that's just what I like about Harlan. He knows what he wants. He likes doing, like, and he's like, you've never seen a guy hanging from a metal pole while another guy punches the walls and shoots the walls to climb to turn it on. Like, you know, who knows if they're good ideas, but you always leave a Harlan movie feeling like you've seen something different. So,
yeah, I'd much rather see someone attempt to be inventive on something than just to watch like the same. Actually, this brings up a point that I wanted to say towards the end. I know we're kind of like getting there, but did anyone else like find that fight scene very interesting that they had at the end?
Oh, it's badass.
Yeah.
It was so like, it was, I almost thought maybe it was like choreographed and sped up just at like a tick because of the way it was like, it looked, but I really enjoyed it. I was like my partner was like, I miss fight scenes like this. Like, it's hard to describe, but it just felt very like, I don't know. It's not, I mean, like, I feel like they're making some amazing choreographed action now, but I liked it in the context because it felt like, oh, I didn't know it had this up its sleeve, and for it to be just like a one-on-one fight scene, which would theoretically be a lot more boring than someone being consumed by acid, it was still like really enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely.
Even the whole time, I was like, LL Cool J is going to take everybody out. I mean, how could he not? I don't understand that.
JLM would get stomped.
Yeah, he would get stomped, but that's okay.
In the fight between them, LL Cool J is mostly unarmed, and Johnny is like, gets a knife and a fire extinguisher and anything he can, otherwise he is just toast.
That's a good point.
LL Stuntman gets just bonked by that fire extinguisher big time, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which a couple of times.
And they only had 2 days to film this. And he said normally you have weeks, but for some reason they only had 2 days to shoot this. And what I like about Rennie Harlan, what I love about his action films, like we just talked about Cutthroat Island, you can see you do see their stuntmen bits, but LL and JLM did a lot of their own stunts.
Yeah, I think
during
that
this
shows.
fight. And and I think that makes it so much better, right? Because there's no super cuts. They actually go for a wide angle a few times on this, and you get to see LL jump on a table, Johnny Lee fall on a table. I just love seeing their faces in it. And I think I miss that. Like, I know Indonesian movies do that right now. Like The Night Comes for Us, The Raid, like those movies are incredible at doing that.
Right.
But yeah, this one, I think Rennie Harlan said it was his favorite fight scene he's ever filmed. Ever.
That shows, yeah. But I really felt when the two of them kind of went over and through that glass window and then landed on the metal staircase, that hurt to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just
There were a lot of moments like that, actually. Like, that's another thing is there's a lot of those, like, ooh, I'm feeling it, and also, like, genuinely, like, oh, like, surprising, like, something to scare you, like, maybe a jump scare, but not really. They're genuinely surprising moments throughout, I thought, that really got me.
Yeah. So we need to get to the climax because
the underwater
gunfight.
gunfight.
Just to get to that point.
Periscope gunfight.
Yes. So whilst Vince is getting locked in the freezer, Gabe, everyone having a shootout. LL Cool J shoots Lucas, but he's wearing a bulletproof vest, doesn't matter. So he'll have a fight towards the end, and then between.
Wait, did LL shoot him because his hands didn't?
Someone shot Lucas because he had bullets in his bulletproof vest, and it wasn't Sarah because we were on Sarah at the time, so it probably was Gabe. So either way, they all survived that. Then between Lucas and Sarah team up and take out Gabe with a fire extinguisher and a staircase and various other things. But then Sarah reveals that she had put phosphorescent powder that had spelled out the letters on the jackets on the clock that she turned back 15 minutes, knowing that the killer would feel the compulsion to correct the clock because they're so finicky about time. And it turns out, Lucas has got the powder in his hands. So he then gives he starts monologuing, explaining everything, why he did it. He killed his parents. The cop asked him, did he want some gum? Not, why did you do it, or anything else about it. Just, so this is a kind of not the best villain monologue exposition scene I've ever seen. It's just, he gives a lot away, and we get flashbacks to every character and how he had been herding everything all the way through. Fine. But this all leads to, as Mark said, the periscope gunfight in the pool. Because they fall into the water, they try and shoot each other underwater, but the bullets don't really do a lot underwater. They kind of, we see the bullets go sail off and drift down. It's like, yes, good. Water physics when shooting, wonderful. This is fun. Because too many films have people just shooting underwater and it just working fine. So this is maybe the dumbest thing in the whole film that I loved is the two of them kind of treading water just below the surface, holding their guns up above the surface, waiting for the other one to have to surface and breathe, at which point they will shoot them. Which, despite Lucas having tried to drown Sarah for a good minute before they have an underwater fight, he is still the one that needs to go up and breathe first. And instead of going up to the surface and just protruding through enough to breathe, he sticks his whole head out for 20 minutes or so, and she shoots him in the throat. So, it's incredible.
You know what I would have liked a bit where, I mean, okay, like LL Cool J has that thing early on when he says that's all profiler stuff, that's profiler nonsense, like that's not who we are, right? Or something, you know what I'm talking about? Like when they're like indicating the little things about everybody, and he says, yeah, those things are true, but they're also not really who people are. I look beyond that. So I thought that was, again, my mind. I was like, okay, that's gonna like come into play or something, right? It would have been nice if like maybe at the end she like revealed in some capacity that she was like, yeah, I'm scared of the water, but like I've been like practicing for this. Do you know what I mean? Like she's scared of why, like theoretically, why would she even know how to hold her breath that long? We gotta there's a lot of leaps and bounds already. But if we're gonna like believe it, it would have been cool if she was like, if she had bested him with like the one thing he overlooked for her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Maybe she has been not telling people about it, so then they try to exploit it.
Exactly. Like she's like, it was her deepest fear, so she basically like in secret tried to overcome something, or like I don't know. I'm really reaching, but it was.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Like, I kept that from you. You didn't know.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yep.
That's you know what? That's good.
You fixed
that's
it.
Good. Yeah.
I'm an idea man. That's all I am.
I do wish the guns had a periscope view above water, and you could see like the little periscope from the gun.
Oh, it reminded
me
of.
Looks up.
It just reminded me of the beginning when they had lasers on their gun, and I was like, why?
Oh yeah, they did have lasers. Like you're kind of alerting where you're coming at. Like which way is her gun pointed? Oh, okay.
So Sarah shoots Lucas. They get out of the pool. She's got a gun on him, and he's convincing her that yeah, you could kill me, but your blood's under Bobby's fingernails, and there's a lot of evidence pointing to you. Your bullet's in my throat, and he's like, you should let me live. And then in walks LL Cool J, throws down the watch, time's up, and
you know what your weakness was?
bullets.
So good.
Yes. It's not even a one-liner. That's a one
I know.
Yeah, there are no notes on that. That's perfect. Gatsby found his weakness. Bullets. Just inspired.
I think it was at that moment I picked up my wife and just ran around the room with her. I was so happy at that line.
Yeah, I let out a pretty audible chuckle.
Yeah, it's great. Apparently Rennie Harlin was one of the mannequins as well.
Yeah, he was in the phone booth.
So cameo as a mannequin. He when he was a cameo on Deep Blue Sea, it took him like 25 takes just to walk. So he figured he wouldn't move in this one, and it would take fewer takes, I assume.
He said he did it for his mom.
Because she loves mannequins?
Well, no, she likes Rennie. She likes seeing him in movies.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good for them. Okay. So yeah,
I love this movie.
Really liked this film. I'm glad I went in completely blind and knew nothing about it. Yeah, I had a really good time with it.
I feel bad for the people who walk into this and just hate it. Like I just wish people could get on the wavelength of this movie. Maybe it's a stretch for some people. I mean, I understand. You know what? I don't understand the Rotten score, but
It's like 25% on something.
Yeah. Like why? Like this movie's so silly. You can't watch this movie like it's Seven. Like this isn't Seven. This is just a silly TNT thriller that features your weaknesses bullets. It's I don't know. It's just I don't. It's so obviously like a B picture. Like I don't think Rennie Harlin had any bigger aspirations other than just to entertain people.
Yeah, it should be compared to like the Friday the 13th franchise more than it should to Seven. I would say. It's
yeah,
just like
but to be fair, I don't think horror is ever like happily reviewed. Maybe there's like been a turn recently, but just notoriously like movies that are like a lot of classics or things that have been cult classics get terrible reviews.
That's a great point. I mean, every Saw movie's rotten. Only
even
2
Deep Blue
Final
Sea.
Destination movies. Like
I think the like House on Haunted Hill remake. 'Cause this kind of reminds me of that, where it's like to me, I'm like if you went into that and you didn't like enjoy what they were trying to do, it's like not really. I don't know who it's for, but like. And that, because I think that movie is very fun.
Me too.
But I think that got really poorly reviewed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are looking for because like all the Blade movies are rotten. I think every Friday the 13th movie is rotten except for one. There's 3 fresh Nightmare on Elm Street films. I think there's only 2 fresh Halloween movies that have been made. So yeah, I think you just see this movie like horror. I guess just if it's not like The Witch or
exactly,
A24 horror, I guess people do have a hard time with it. But
yeah, I think they're making some changes now, especially with like not Us. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the first one?
Get Out.
Yeah, like with like Get Out, I think they're kind of like, oh okay, we gotta start paying attention to these horror movies. But yeah, so House on Haunted Hill has a 31%, which is like a little nuts, like, because everybody's working well in that. Like, there's not that much to complain about unless you just straight up don't like horror movies. So it's, I don't know. I don't understand, like, reviewing the movie not for what it, like, you have to at least give it for what it's trying to achieve there.
Yeah, these films are made to be entertaining and fun. And
yes.
I had a lot of fun with this film, and I had a lot of fun with House on Hill remake. And pretty much every... Well, like, the first Friday the 13th, I didn't have fun with. I didn't like that as much. I've never seen any of the sequels. But from what I've heard, some of those sequels go in fun directions, and I would probably enjoy watching those, and we'll give them a positive review.
Jason Lives.
I have this theory that, like, the the eyes of the audience now, they end up like bumping, like, let's say tomato meter, like bumping those scores higher, because you'll notice something like the first John Wick movie, it got fairly decent reviews, but I think like it was such a like cult sensation that by the time they make a sequel, which in my opinion, I like all the sequels, but those are like always reviewed higher because like they're like, okay, we know what John Wick is now. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you get those things where if someone has watched it and been like, oh, this is actually like very competently directed, the action is super inventive, blah blah blah, and it gets like a slightly positive response, but then by the time they come around, meaning like if a film like Mindhunter, I feel like either had somebody else attached to it that critics were excited about at the time, or that director had previously directed something that well, I guess they had, but I don't know. You know
Bernie was on a bad run there for a little bit.
Yeah, like people forgot.
And,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But because well, what's Deep Blue Sea's tomato meter?
59.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what else would should that movie have done? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're
like,
preaching
what did
to the
they
choir.
want? What did they want to happen? Were they not like? Are you not entertained with this?
But Deep Blue Sea, it was fresh at one point. It was at 60%, and it just got a couple more bad reviews, and
Mm.
and then we
But
started
how do
our
you
podcast.
watch that movie and say, I hate that movie? Like, I don't I just, it's a summer shark movie with genetically modified sharks. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that sometimes what annoys me, and I guess I'm guilty of it too, but people go watch Mindhunters and like, well, it won't win an Oscar, but it's pretty fun. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not
what do you-
trying
what-
to.
yeah,
Right. I mean, that's what frustrates me too, is like there's a lot of movies that they will positively review that are like not going to win Oscars. So what is that like? What is your logic there? It just like isn't family friendly enough, or where's the bar? And I think like sadly that is where it is. Like there's like a weird morality element to even film reviewers that I think is changing over time. But like, I'm sorry, I just went to go read. I know we're not on Deep Blue Sea anymore, but like just went to read it, and it says Deep Blue Sea is no Jaws, but action fans seeking toothy action can certainly do and almost certainly have had worse B-movie thrills. Which is like 9 out of 10, I like the tomato meter. But like, what is that review? The review is basically that like you could have had a worse movie. And thinking about the legacy of Deep Blue Sea, it's like, do you want to review that? Like, do you want to rewind a little bit? Do you remember Sam Jackson's arm getting bitten off? Everyone does.
it's not trying to be Jaws. Like, it's not.
No,
it's, like,
it's not the
it's
same
the
movie.
weirdest comparison.
Well, there's a shark in it, so I guess we have to compare every movie that has a shark in it. It's crazy.
To be fair, Rotten Tomatoes did let me write a 20th anniversary piece for Deep Blue Sea, though.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, I like Rotten Tomatoes. I actually think I'm usually in line with the consensus, I think, unless it's like, if it's horror, I give it a slant.
Yeah.
This film didn't win any Oscars, but it was LL Cool J was nominated for Choice Rap Artist in a Movie at the Teen Choice Awards,
Hell yeah.
which he lost out to Nelly in The Longest Yard.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Well, that's a Sandler picture. Kids love those.
Other nominees are Ja Rule in Assault on Precinct 13,
Nelly was hot that year.
Andre 3000 in Be Cool, Queen Latifah in Beauty Shop, Ludacris in Crash, Yasin Bey in Hitchhiker's
Most
Guide
Def.
to the Galaxy, and Ice Cube in Triple X2 The Next Level.
Oh, Most Def had that one. Most Def should have won.
LL Cool J, come on. Actually, I think Ludacris is pretty good in Crash, I gotta say.
Ford Fairlane. No, is he Ford Fairlane?
That's
And that-
Rennie Harlan is Ford Fairlane.
No, what's his character's name in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Ford Prefect.
Oh, Ford Prefect.
Ford Fairlane is another Rennie Harlan film, which I can't find.
Ford Mustang.
Because he just names himself after the car, the Ford Prefect. Yeah, it's my favorite book, not my favorite film. Okay, so because of the way I watched this film, it's recorded off the TV. I couldn't, with like ad breaks in it and stuff, I couldn't go through my usual detailed, deepest, bluest analysis in terms of the depth and the blueness. I had to just kind of estimate. And most of this film takes place above water, like on land, if you will. It's underwater in the opening segment, in the opening credits. Sarah's having a dream or a nightmare of her sister drowning, and then there's the bit with the periscope gunfight. And the boat explosion! The boat explodes with just the worst CGI boat explosion, green screen, horrendousness I've ever seen. I had to rewind it because my wife was looking away from the screen at that point. I had to show her the outline around the characters as they were dragged by a mouse away from the explosion. Anyway, so those are the only bits that happen underwater. So for the most part, this is probably going to be about 1 or 2 stories above sea level, depth-wise. Probably making it the least deep. Yeah, film we've covered so far, and it wasn't particularly blue either. I estimate about 15 to 20%. I apologise, it isn't as detailed as normal, but like I say, it's on my TV. Working out time breaks and things with ad breaks in the middle would be a nightmare. And I'm a bit short for time this week, so that's the best you're going to get, I'm afraid. But so yeah, not deep, not blue, basically. Unfortunately. But one thing I have been doing is comparing this film, any similarities that it's got to Deep Blue Sea. Got a little list for this one, as you might expect, with it being a Rennie Harlan film coming immediately after Deep Blue Sea, pretty much. So LL Cool J is in this film. Hurrah! It's mainly set on a distant, remote facility surrounded by water.
Whoa!
There's a scene in an elevator and a scene of cooking in a kitchen. The plot revolves around some kind of a test having to be done in a short amount of time. There's a surprise death of a high-profile actor very early on, earlier than expected. There's an electrocution death sequence. There's booby traps. The main villain, Johnny Miller, is herding the rest of the cast towards their fates, just like the Sharks did. There's a scene where LL Cool J is walking around with kind of like a camera. It's a heat sensor thing. It reminded me of the sequence he gives his monologue to. And there's 2 survivors at the end. One of them's LL Cool J. And there's a scene towards the end where LL Cool J is badly incapacitated, but still comes back to save the day right at the end, just like in Deep Blue Sea. So This is the most Deep Blue Sea-like film we've had so far.
You missed one, Jay.
What did I miss?
Just like the shark, they're hunting you with their mind.
Indeed they are. They should have called it that. Okay. So any other notes on this film?
I love this movie.
It's fine.
I love it. And I'm very happy I bought it for $2.
I may add this to a list of if I see it for £1 somewhere, I might pick it up. The only other note I've got is that Johnny Miller sounds like a robot cowboy. And then I realised that in Westworld, Clifton Collins Jr. plays a robot cowboy. So that's nice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Lindsay, what have you got to plug? Anything to promote?
Nothing much. So thanks for having me.
You want to throw out a plug for Yes Please Vintage?
Sure.
I feel
if you
like I
vintage
direct you
stuff.
to do this every time you're on.
I know. I don't. I'm not here for it. But
you
yeah.
never know.
I also used to have / still have a film website, French to Sunday.
It's how we met.
It is how we met, and it's still around. You can go to it. But yeah, it's sort of dormant at the moment. And if you like vintage housewares and clothing, I have my own shop, and it's called Yes Please Vintage, and you can find it at yespleasevintage.com.
Excellent. As for me, you can find more of my writing over at lifeversusfilm.com. Rarely, I don't do a lot there. Last posted a couple of months ago at this point. And you can hear me monthly over on the Lambcast, where I host a movie trivia show called Lampardy, based on Jeopardy. It's a fun time. Mark, what have you got to plug?
See, Movies, Films, and Flicks, Movies, Films on FLIX. You can go to the website, check out all the articles and data articles. Also the podcast, listen to that podcast. We're currently #1 in Gambia, so we're back to #1 there, which is awesome. And let's see, Rotten Tomatoes, you can go read my articles there. You can listen to Rotten Tomatoes is Wrong. I pulled the research for that. Then go to Rotten Tomatoes Versus on YouTube and watch the Deep Blue Sea video that we put up. It has about 70,000 views, Jay. And so about 70,000 people have seen the promotion for Deep Blue Sea podcast and witnessed the victory of Deep Blue Sea, which is amazing. And then head to Fandom. I do their By the Numbers posts. I do the research and stats. So if you go to Fandom, go to By the Numbers and you can watch those videos. And then Film Theory, you can watch my videos there. I got one coming out about the Quiet Place franchise, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, Hereditary, and Snickers Bars. So head over there on YouTube and you can listen to it, watch them.
Wait a minute. Is it about how all those movies connect to Snickers bars?
No, they're all 3 individual episodes. So I got
I'm just messing with you.
That'd be, that totally went over my head, but if I could do that, that'd be a beautiful. Well, okay. So Charlie likes chocolate, and there's nuts and Snickers bars. So then that's a Hereditary Snickers.
And everybody in
Meetup.
Hereditary is nuts.
And there's a cult pulling the strings in Hereditary. So then in
Like a puppeteer.
Pirates, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Wait, that's going to my
Wait. Oh, have you both seen Hereditary?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a bunch of like white collar cultists trying to get some sweet demon money. And so Pirates of the Caribbean, they're looking for treasure.
Yep.
So that's the same thing as these cults. They're like, we're just going to wait 30 years and do some stuff. And we're going to stuff this demon into this girl, even though the demon hates it because this cult on the East Coast is trying to do it. So we got to stash Paimon away into Charlie. Then we got to wait for Peter.
Is this a good time to talk about? I have a conspiracy theory about a film conspiracy theory.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I know we're at the end of this episode. You can totally cut this out.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right, let's wrap it up and then I'll talk to you guys.
Okay. So thank you, Lindsay, for joining us today.
Thanks.
As for me, I'm Jake Lurt.
And I'm Mark Hoffman, and I really want to hear this conspiracy theory.
Next week we're talking about Shark Night. We're back on the shark movies next week, so next week's Shark Night. But as for this week, we'll Deep Blue Sea you next week.